I'm standing outside the city walls after what's been a dramatic day in Jerusalem. As the afternoon gives way to the evening of the Sabbath, all is quiet now, but for how long? What we can say is that the itinerant Jewish preacher, who some were saying was the Messiah, is dead. How has it come to this? To get some idea, I need to go back to the beginning of the week. Jesus knew how to make an entrance. Last Sunday, he rode a donkey into Jerusalem as a vast crowd gathered. It seems that accomplices of Jesus whipped the crowd into a frenzy as they shouted out, "Hosanna to the Son of David, and blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." According to eyewitness accounts, Jesus did nothing to affirm or deny their shouts, although some are saying that the very act of riding the donkey in the way that he did was to confirm the claims. He was next seen in the temple courts, throwing over tables, scattering money, muttering something about a den of thieves and a house of prayer. For the next few days, the detail is a little hazy. A source, I can't tell you who, but one who was very close to Jesus, confirms that he was keeping a relatively low profile. Apparently, he was very critical of the local religious leaders and talked of destroying the temple. My sources speculated that Jesus may have been suffering mental health problems. In a final meal, only yesterday evening, he asked his followers to eat his body and drink his blood. For one of his gang, this apparently was the final straw. Later in the evening, Jesus was arrested by local religious officials on a charge of blasphemy, having been tipped off by that individual. Allegedly, he was becoming delusional and claiming to be God. It's fair to say that this local incident could have remained that way and been dealt with locally. However, local officials chose to send him to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, in an act that has turned this into an international incident. Pilate judged Jesus to have done nothing wrong. But faced with a probable riot, he washed his hands of Jesus and submitted to the wishes of the crowd. Many are saying that this crowd was far more dangerous than the one that shouted Hosanna, for they kept bellowing, "Crucify him, crucify him." And that is what happened earlier this morning. Jesus, said to be the Christ, was nailed to a cross and put between two criminals also on crosses. I was there, and I can tell you that there has been a continued dramatic turn of events. From 12 till 3 in the afternoon, the sky was so black that it was enough to make anyone believe that the gods were angry. Like many under this death sentence, Jesus shouted out from time to time. But it was not like others who protest their innocence to the last. Instead, he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" I've been told by a religious expert that this is a quote from a psalm by their King David, which speaks of a Messiah to come. He spoke once more, gasping out the words, "It is finished." And then he died. And it was. And that was where I expected to end my report, but Hugh, this really has been a day of unprecedented events. At the very moment of Jesus' death, there was an earthquake enough to put the fear of God into anyone. A temple official has told me that the veil of the temple, which covers the most holy place, was torn in two at that moment. The rumour mill is turning fast, and people are making wild claims about graves breaking open and holy people coming back to life. If that can happen, they say, anything is possible for Jesus. Hugh, I have some breaking news. Just a moment. I can now reveal that my source among Jesus' disciples has changed his story. This is remarkable. He is saying that he has acted under duress. He is saying that Jesus is innocent. And if that is the case, Jesus has been the victim of a gross miscarriage of justice. My source is ye gods, my source is dead. Judas Iscariot, that is his name, is dead, believed to have taken his own life. And that leaves me wondering, how many more lives is this tragic affair going to claim? For now, things are quiet once again. The man Jesus was both young and poor. He had no tomb prepared for his death. I'm told that a wealthy benefactor, a believer in Jesus as Messiah, has taken his body and placed it in his own tomb with a stone across the entrance for security. Two more believers, two women, friends of Jesus, are keeping vigil over his body. I've talked to them, Mary and Mary, their names. And they say, he spoke of dying and coming back to life. He spoke of forgiveness and brought healing. He called them to believe in him and receive life forever with him. And clearly, they are hanging on to hope. For now, what we can say is that Jesus is dead. But Hugh, I'm not so sure we've heard the last of him. Timothy Edworthy, Roman News International, Jerusalem.